Behind the glittering facade of Hollywood's red carpets and award ceremonies lies a shadow world of bitter feuds, toxic personalities, and professional betrayals rarely glimpsed by the public eye. While studio publicists work overtime to present an image of harmony and mutual respect between stars, the reality on set often tells a very different story. Few actors have navigated the treacherous waters of Hollywood politics with more integrity than Kevin Costner. Throughout his 4-decade career, from The Untouchables to Yellowstone, Costner has built a reputation for professionalism, straightforward honesty, and an old-school approach to the craft that has earned him the respect of directors and co-stars alike. But this same principled stance has put Costner at odds with some of the industry's most difficult personalities, stars whose behavior behind the scenes reveals a stark contrast to their carefully managed public images. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 9 Hollywood figures who crossed paths with Costner and left lasting impressions for all the wrong reasons. What makes these stories particularly revealing isn't just the conflicts themselves, but what they tell us about the true character of these famous figures when the cameras stop rolling. From manipulative co-stars to controlling directors to volatile personalities whose demons affected everyone around them, these encounters reveal the dark underbelly of an industry built on illusion. Stay with me, because the truth about these stars is more shocking than any script they've ever performed. This is the Hollywood reality they never wanted you to know. Few Hollywood feuds have been as bizarre and unsettling as the conflict between Kevin Costner and actress Sean Young. Their professional relationship began promisingly enough with roles in the 1987 thriller No Way Out. But what followed would become one of the most notorious cases of unprofessional behavior in Hollywood history. According to multiple sources from the production, Young's erratic behavior on set created a tense atmosphere that made filming difficult. Costner, known for his focused professionalism, reportedly struggled to maintain scenes as Young's unpredictability disrupted the workflow. But it was after filming wrapped that the situation truly spiraled out of control. Young reportedly developed an unhealthy obsession with Costner, behavior that some described as stalking. Industry insiders revealed that she would appear uninvited at events where she knew Costner would be present, attempting to force interactions that the actor had made clear he didn't want. The situation escalated to property damage, with claims that Young vandalized items belonging to Costner in a disturbing escalation of her fixation. Costner later refused to work with her ever again, and he even broke his usual diplomacy by calling her unprofessional in interviews, which for someone as measured as Costner, spoke volumes. Her behavior wasn't limited to Costner either. In one infamous incident, she showed up uninvited to Tim Burton's office wearing a homemade Catwoman costume in a bizarre attempt to secure the role in Batman Returns. While her mental health struggles may have contributed to these actions, the impact on her colleagues was nonetheless very real. Costner's decision to cut ties wasn't personal vindictiveness, but a professional boundary, one that highlighted how Hollywood's pressure cooker can exacerbate personal issues with devastating consequences. When Kevin Costner signed on to star in JFK, he was drawn to the project by its exploration of a pivotal moment in American history. As an actor who had always shown deep respect for American institutions and legacy, he approached the role of Jim Garrison with seriousness. What he didn't anticipate was the clash of values between himself and director Oliver Stone over the question of truth versus narrative. Stone, known for provocative and revisionist takes on history, approached Kennedy's assassination through elaborate conspiracy theories, often bending facts to serve a more dramatic story. Costner, by contrast, believed that even in a dramatic retelling, filmmakers had a responsibility to respect historical reality. Their clashes became notorious. Crew members recalled Stone dismissing Costner's concerns with remarks about artistic license, while Costner quietly grew frustrated at what he saw as ego overshadowing responsibility. Their conflict wasn't about petty egos. It was a deeper philosophical battle about what filmmakers owe the truth. Though JFK went on to be a commercial and critical success, earning multiple Oscar nominations, the tension between Stone and Costner remains one of the most fascinating examples of Hollywood's ongoing debate about history versus art. Some of Hollywood's most painful feuds emerge not from animosity, but from collapsed friendships. Such was the case with Kevin Reynolds, the director who once shared a close bond with Costner. Together, they delivered one of the biggest hits of the early 1990s with Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. But during the troubled production of Waterworld, their partnership imploded. With ballooning costs and endless production challenges, tensions rose until Reynolds walked off the set altogether, famously saying, "Kevin should direct it. He's already directing the actor, the camera, and himself." Costner, left to finish the project, cemented the perception of being controlling, while Reynolds felt undermined and sidelined. What had once looked like a powerhouse creative duo fell apart in full public view, leaving a scar that took decades to heal. Not all of Costner's conflicts came from extended collaborations. Some arose from fleeting encounters. One of the strangest examples came from his brief brush with Madonna during her Truth or Dare era. After attending one of her shows, Costner politely described her performance as neat. Madonna, however, mocked him mercilessly on camera, gagging and declaring, "Anyone who says my show is neat has to go." For Costner, whose image was built on sincerity, the mockery felt humiliating, and he later admitted he didn't care for her. The incident symbolized the culture clash between Madonna's provocative rebellion and Costner's straightforward decency, two very different philosophies of celebrity colliding in one unforgettable moment. Another clash of philosophies came during Open Range with Robert Duvall. Both men were veterans of Hollywood, both fiercely committed to their craft, and both unwilling to yield. Their tension began over billing disputes and creative control, with Costner directing and starring while Duvall wanted significant input in his role. Costner reportedly called Duvall the most stubborn man I've ever directed, while Duvall dismissed him as controlling. Yet despite the behind-the-scenes tension, their on-screen chemistry was undeniable. Critics praised their performances, proving that professionalism could triumph even when personal clashes simmered beneath the surface. Marlon Brando was another actor whose reputation clashed with Costner's values. Though they never directly worked together, their paths nearly crossed on projects like The Untouchables. Brando's notorious unpredictability, his refusal to learn lines, his cruel treatment of directors, his erratic demands, and troubling private remarks led Costner to deliberately avoid collaboration. Costner reportedly said, "I just don't trust that energy." To him, Brando embodied the chaos and ego-driven behavior he wanted no part of.